Welcome back to another episode of the Knights in the AM podcast.
We'll be bringing you up to date on Central Florida sports, news, and all things UCF with your hosts, Zach Klauber and Brendan Steggy.
And as always, go Knights.
And charge on.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new podcast series entitled Knights in the AM. I am one of your hosts, Brendan Stegner, and I am joined by
Zach Klauber.
And we are here to give you guys all sorts of recap on sports and news and anything around campus or UCF in general.
Yeah, we'll be giving our opinions, predictions, any topics that come up in sports or like Steg mentioned on campus.
Or even on the professional level, repping black and gold.
Definitely, and maybe even IM will slip in there.
Why not? Put our IM teams in there. Let's hop right into it.
Let's do it.
Let's hop into the recap. Sports events have happened already. I'm going to start out by talking about the men's soccer. Mm-hmm. So our soccer team had an exhibition against Eastern Florida State on Monday, and we actually beat them 6-0.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Something about our soccer team that people don't talk about enough. We were ranked 15th in the nation coming into this season.
Nobody talks about our soccer team, I feel like, on campus.
There's actually two players on our soccer team up for the Mac Herman. They're on the Mac Herman watch list, which is like the MVP, basically.
Oh, okay.
Like every sport has that. So one of those players is Cal Jennings. He had a hat trick in the first half.
That's crazy.
Which is pretty unreal. And the other one is Luis Perez.
And I get it's an exhibition game, but it's crazy that literally, like, I can't remember anyone ever on campus talking about soccer.
Right, yeah. And I guarantee we probably were up 6-0 in like the 50th minute.
No, yeah.
And
it's like
an exhibition. Yeah.
It's like, and I can admit too, like, I haven't been to one of the soccer games. I know you have.
Yeah, I've only been to one. That's kind of the inspiration of this podcast. I feel like, so basically, this is how it all started. Mm-hmm. I joined the spikeball tournament with who's now my roommate, Bailey, and we met Cal Jennings. Cal Jennings is an exceptional spikeball player.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I guess he's an athlete.
Well,
so.
Yeah, he's also huge. And basically, we were talking about how the last year the conference championship was UCF versus SMU. And I was like, wow, that's really exciting. You're probably going to get a big crowd. And he's like, no, not really. I was like, what do you mean, not really? He's like, well, soccer team doesn't do a good job in promoting sports. And he didn't seem bummed out about it. He was just like, it is what it is.
But it must be sad for an athlete, though.
No, definitely. Like, especially him being on the watch list for MVP of the nation, he wants a big crowd. And that's no disrespect to UCF fans, but, like, that was kind of the goal of this podcast, was to bring awareness and to bring, like, school spirit around.
Definitely.
You know?
Well, that might be the outlook of soccer generally here, because it's like when we talk about even pro sports, it's like very rarely do people even talk about, if they talk about soccer in any fashion, very rarely MLS.
Definitely. So that'd be an awesome topic to talk about. I mean I loved what I saw with soccer. I saw Cal play. He's exceptional.
No, I'm a big soccer fan too, and like I said, like it's sad for me to admit, but like I've never been to a soccer game, and I've never even heard of when like a soccer game was happening.
Like we were literally in the conference. We did lose to SMU at SMU, but we were literally in the conference championship. Yeah. We won the Eastern half.
Well, I blame the school a little bit for that too. Then for not blame them, but a lot of our promotion obviously goes into football because we have a great football program and it's up and coming.
And that's no disrespect there. I love our football team so much. It's a big reason why I'm even here, to be honest.
Basketball, once again, we have big names. We had Tacko this past season.
We have big people.
We finally had a great, what I would call a great season. We beat Houston. We beat Cincinnati.
Fell 1 point short.
Yeah, 1 point short.
Let's not talk about that.
No, let's not. Zion took us. But no, it's like we should also focus on soccer. And I know like our tennis teams, both male and female, did really well last season. We don't talk about. I remember the only time I remember them ever talking about volleyball was at that basketball game when the volleyball team was there.
That's right.
That's the only time I remember them ever even mentioning our girls volleyball team. And
that's right. So Zach and I love all sports. We love competition.
Definitely.
And we definitely go to games like when we're not doing anything. So to continue the recap, girls volleyball,
I was just talking about it.
They play an exhibition at UF on Friday. So we'll be sure to be talking about that.
And how many people do you think didn't know that before we just said that?
Well, I mean, to be honest, I didn't even know that until I looked it up yesterday.
No, that's what I'm saying.
It's kind of my
I
job,
get it's an exhibition, so it's a little bit different.
True.
But no, yeah, definitely. Like, how many people are aware of every schedules other than men's football, men's basketball?
Yeah, exactly. Which, again, no disrespect, but I really hope, like, through this podcast, I really hope that more sports get recognition.
I mean, the podcast is making me more active into these sports.
Exactly.
Putting more into it.
I hope to see you guys out there. That'd be awesome. So
Definitely.
I did know UCF girls volleyball They made the NCAA tournament last year for playoffs.
Wouldn't have known.
They were eliminated first round against Florida Gulf Coast, I believe. But so that is good. That is promising. We do have a good program.
Definitely.
We definitely will do well again this year.
Well, I saw that list of I probably saw it on Instagram or something. Some like Bleacher Report. It was like top 25 sport programs.
All sport. We were like 17.
Yeah, we were like I think we were 18th.
That is
which
insane.
is crazy.
We were in front of Penn State,
Yep.
like Oregon,
and we went from literally nobody knowing our sports program 5 years ago.
Yeah, definitely.
To now being 18th, and it's like we always focus on football as like we turn it around from the losing season to an undefeated season, but
right.
Our football team isn't the only reason that we're
Right.
18th on that list.
Exactly. Yep. It's a big reason, but no, I totally get it.
Yeah.
And that's the point. I really think now. Okay, we're approaching top 10 sports programs like in the country,
Yeah.
in the world. I think it's time for everyone to really like recognize what's happening here. History is being made, and for those of you to go to school at this time, you're going to school at a historic
Definitely.
time, and it's going to be an awesome experience if you attend these games.
I completely agree. Not to be controversial, but we're probably either close to it or number one in Florida. UF's the only school that's probably giving us close, and UF fans won't agree with me, but
I mean,
look at their programs now.
I'm just not going to let UF fans listen to us, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. If you're a UF fan, you can turn this off. Now please listen.
Please listen. But anyway, let's keep going here. Speaking of all sports, women's soccer, they had 2 games. I believe. Yeah, they did have 2 games, and they played Alabama at Bama August 11th. They dropped 3-0. They also played North Texas on Sunday home, and they tied 3-3. And there actually is a home game today against Wisconsin. It's actually in about 2 hours. You want to go?
Yeah, I'll go. We're not doing anything.
We're already at the library. You might as well just
definitely.
That's pretty cool.
We got nothing going on.
Yeah, man. That's awesome.
But yeah, those are 2 hard losses. But like I said, it's exhibition too, right?
Yeah.
So hopefully in the season they turn around. But I remember our women's soccer were fun last year too. I don't remember how good they were, but
yeah, no, they were definitely making some noise. I know for a fact on Instagram and stuff.
You wanna move into football now?
Let's move into football. That's
right.
a big group.
So for this portion of it, we're just gonna talk about this upcoming season. Obviously, we had a great season. Hard loss in the bowl game to LSU. You know, so we can put it on Milton being out,
right?
Or at least put a little bit onto it. But we're gonna talk about this season coming up. And we're projected to go 11-1.
Right. We are, and I did read this article on Bleacher Report. Projected to go 11-1. Can you guess the team we're projected to lose to? I'll give you 3 guesses.
My first guess would be Stanford.
No.
Which is crazy because I think that is our hardest game.
Which is awesome, by the way. UCF playing Stanford.
Yeah.
Like even a game like that at home is an honor. But
is it Cincy?
It is Cincy.
Okay.
Cincinnati at Cincinnati is our only. And because of that, it's because they played us at home and we rocked them. Like we were so loud that the first play, their quarterback, I forgot his name, couldn't hear his coach.
Was the Cincy game the Daryl Mack game? Or was Milton there at that point?
No, that was the Memphis game.
Oh, the Memphis game. You're right.
Cincy game, Milton. Remember, it was like they had like a safety or something. It was like 2-0 or 9-0.
I vaguely remember.
It was like and I was like, oh no, I was like so worried. And Milton came out of nowhere, and we ended up winning by like 25.
Yeah, I remember the Memphis game a lot more, but I do remember the Cincy game. It was at night.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it was college game day.
College game day. Yep.
And I didn't sleep the night before. I'm sure none of you guys did. Honestly,
Yeah,
that was one of the best nights.
I remember going to Gringos after the game, and we had some friends there. It was a good time.
Yeah,
definitely remember it.
Of course. So if you guys didn't know the home schedule, we play Florida A&M Thursday, August 29th.
You can grab your tickets now,
right,
for that.
Grab your tickets.
At the time you're listening to this, you're probably a couple of days out. Make sure you grab them.
Definitely.
If you're a freshman coming in, I would say probably the number one thing you would have to do on campus
is go to a
football game. Even if you don't like sports, I know so many people who aren't interested in sports or who think they don't like sports, but it's not even about the actual sport. Like just being in the student section.
It's not even about that.
Unreal experience.
It's crazy, and I've never even been to a professional football game. I've been a big sports fan my entire life. I've never been.
I've been to a couple. This is more fun than a professional sport
especially
game.
Now that we're part of the school. Like we feel like we're a part of the success. You know.
Yeah. So, when you're cheering and they get a false start or something, you feel like you're that 12th man.
And
not
dude,
to be cliche,
trust me,
but
we definitely make a difference. There's definitely a difference.
Yeah.
It's inexplainable. You have to go.
But yeah, they say we're one of the hardest stadiums to come to because of that.
Yeah,
it's a smaller stadium now, but the way it's shaped and everything like that.
Yeah. Speaking of the bounce house, actually, I read something. It was like So first off, for the first time ever, UCF sold all of their season tickets before the season even started. That goes to show where we're going.
They sold out in a couple of days.
Yeah,
I remember seeing it on
insane.
Twitter actually, and it was like UCF season tickets are out, and then it was like 2 or 3 days or something like that, they were gone.
Insane, and I'm very proud to be.
And they even offered more this season, if I'm not mistaken, than past seasons.
I'm sure they have. And I did read a stat. I don't remember the exact numbers, but it was like we fit 46,000 something seats in there, and average attendance last year was around 45,000.
Wow.
So they are considering. They said an upgrade to the stadium may come sooner than you think.
An upgrade or a new stadium?
I hope they upgrade it because I really just love the bounce house.
Me too.
I mean, it's not great. Just like how it is set up.
Yeah, when you're up in like the whatever's the 200 sections over there in the opposite corner,
right.
It's pretty rough up there.
Right, but it's just so fun. And when you bounce, like when we bounce for Zombie Nation, oh my god,
well,
it literally feels like a trampoline.
I remember the only game I didn't go to where I was in the student section was one where my dad came. And I remember seeing the student section from there, and it's just like it's crazy to watch.
Yeah, I sat against Temple with my dad, and I looked over, and it was just like that is unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't remember which game I was at with my dad, but
it was Pitt? It was Pitt because it was a parents' weekend.
Yeah, then it would have been Pitt.
Yeah, that day, that was really hot. That was the game.
That game. You're right.
That was the game when all the Pittsburgh players pretended to be cramping.
Yep.
Remember that? They all just went down because because UCF runs such a fast offense.
It's different too. Like with the heat, when I'm in the student section, it's hot. Like you don't notice it. Like obviously it's hot, but it's like you're in there and you're having a good time.
You don't feel temperature.
I was sitting down with my dad outside
and
in 98 degrees, and I was just dying watching that game.
That's it.
And having to watch Pitt play.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Terrible.
That's Orlando Heat, yo. We get the direct sunlight. We get no wind. It's just like.
Maybe that's why it's so hard to come in, or it has to be, you know.
That's
but with the noise.
Yeah. Not including the noise.
Yeah, but let's run into these. So if you want to read off the home games we have.
Yeah, sure. So the home games. So Florida A&M obviously is first. That's next Thursday, and then Stanford comes here. Our second home game, September 14th. I am thrilled for that. That is going to be historic, especially for this school.
I know. Now, what we were talking about before, I didn't mean to cut you off, but they said Cincy's our hardest game. I definitely think Stanford is going to be a harder game than Cincinnati.
The only difference is home and away. That's the only difference. And
we used to do good on the road. I remember that Memphis game where it was close.
Yeah, but the only difference is that Cincinnati has that revenge thing, you know.
I get it, but and if they're still mad about basketball too, and they've got something to play for, I suppose.
Remember that last basketball game against Cincinnati? We stormed the court. I'm telling you, you guys got to go to these games. Yeah. I really hope
it's hard for me to pick where I have more fun, football or basketball. To be honest,
tough. They were both just so fun.
Very different atmospheres, but you still get that.
It's also because of the season too. Like
because of the season,
it's basketball time, you know.
When it's basketball time, you know, because football's once a week. It's like a special thing. Basketball, you get two games, and they'll be on Thursdays and stuff like that. So it's a little bit different, but it's definitely a more intimate environment, and you feel a little bit closer to the court. And the players are all great. Like we told that story of we were at a game and all the players were high-fiving us, and Aubrey Dawkins. We were running down to go high-five him, and he waited for us, and it was like that's something crazy.
And dapped us up, like that's another reason.
And that's something that doesn't happen at football games just because of the size.
Yeah, you know? Yeah, exactly. Well, that's another reason I love this school. It's just a friendly campus.
Definitely.
It's just so friendly, and everyone's just so happy to be where they are. Looking back at where
and when I met Aubrey off campus at a racetrack, actually, super nice guy. I was pretty nervous to go up to him because it's like when you're here and you're watching, you know, your team's athletes, like they're students, but to you, they're just like, it's like a pro sport. It's like watching a professional player.
Exactly.
It's like you don't see them in the classroom often.
Yeah, they literally have control of your mood. Like they can make you in such a happy mood after games. And let's celebrate. Let's do all this. You know? So we really do.
And there's celebrity around campus. So seeing him being a nice guy to us in the game, and then when I saw him,
it's such a difference.
It's very special. Very special.
Anyway, let's hop back in this.
Yep.
So preseason ranks UCF was 17, which is, I don't know if I want to call that disrespect or not. Is that whole quarterback situation.
I think
we will talk about.
Yeah, I think 17 is a
17's fair.
Is a fair spot.
True, and Stanford right now is ranked 25 before their first game.
Where did they end last season?
They were
9th or 10th around.
I think around 9, and I think they were 13 for some reason.
Yeah,
that number
because we were 10 to end, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, that's going to be an incredible game. And then UConn comes 2 weeks after. That's going to be nothing.
Joke.
Yep, that's terrible. East Carolina comes.
Also joke.
3 weeks after that, that's nothing. And then Houston comes. I don't know how they are. Last year, they had an amazing offense.
Yep.
But I read somewhere that all their seniors left. Like, their whole team was seniors.
I mean, we lost a couple big ones.
We lost Savage Pat. And Loudermilk, our punter, and our kicker we lost.
Kicker, he's on a team right now.
Matthew Wright. He's on the Jaguars or something.
Yeah, he's in camp right now. I don't know if he's still on it or if he's going to make it, but he's there.
Definitely shout out to you, Matthew Wright. I love you. And
the next Matt Prater.
we could hope, yeah. Matt Prater repping UCF.
But yeah, losing Pat's a big one, obviously.
And but for the most part, we have our core. We have Gabe Davis and Trey Nixon, incredible receivers. We still have Milton. He's going to be redshirt this year, and he's going to play next year. Hopefully. I mean, he's out of the boot already. Right. And he almost got his leg amputated when he first got hurt, so it's a big step. Definitely progress.
He's got a while.
Yeah,
so nobody get crazy, but
Milton actually was just on an interview with Scott Van Pelt. I was watching.
I saw a little.
I was coming home from work. I always turn on ESPN just like in the background, and he was like, "We're joined by Mackenzie Milton." I'm like, "No way, that is incredible."
Well, Milton does that thing. He had one at CFE. It was CFE at the time, where it was like his talk
the success thing.
Yeah, the success thing. Yep.
Yeah, but like great dude, great for him. Really happy. Yep. So we really didn't lose our cornerback Richie Grant and Neville Clark. Those are our two best corners. They're both there. Like, we still have them.
Yeah, we had someone get drafted in, like, late. I don't remember who.
I can't remember who. You're right. But we do have all our running backs.
No, we definitely have all our running backs. Our offense is fine other than the quarterback situation, which could be fine. But obviously it's hard moving on from it.
Right.
And Mac is out now, too.
Right, Mac is out. And we didn't mention our last home game is going to be so much fun. It's going to be USF at UCF.
Joke.
Looks like a joke. It looks like November 29th.
I'll give my score prediction for that one.
49-0.
No, I'll give them 3. 49-3. They can have a field goal. We'll give it to them at the end of the game. We feel bad.
Last year, you want to talk about feel bad. Last year was at South Florida, and there were more UCF fans. We were doing UCF chants. We were doing the Skull thing. We were doing Zombie Nation. Like, it wasn't playing. We were just doing it ourselves.
That's crazy.
And we literally ran South Florida out of their own city, which is
I kind of like being, like, it annoys me when people don't like UCF, but I also like kind of being the bad guy in Florida sports.
It makes it fun.
It annoys me.
Interesting.
It annoys me when UF fans are like UCF's the worst because we literally came from nothing. Right. And now we're good.
And like a couple of years, they're historic. They're literally 1800s.
We don't lose to Kentucky and then cry about it and then still want to be placed top 10. So
yeah, definitely. See, I kind of want this. I want the UCF South Florida rivalry to end. It's not a rivalry anymore. We beat them in everything. They're not. USF came to our basketball game. Like they tried to compete with us. We destroyed them. Like we swept them in baseball. Like it's not a rivalry anymore with South Florida. Like,
looking at the schedule right now, the only real difficult games that I'd be worried about a little bit would be Stanford. We mentioned Cincinnati.
Cincy, I think Pittsburgh. That game's at Heinz Field, by the way.
Really?
That's where they play. That's where
I didn't know that.
That's where you.
That's funny that Pittsburgh play there and Temple play at the Eagles Stadium.
Yeah, that is pretty funny. Wait, do we play Temple? Yeah, we do. What is that? October 26th?
Yeah.
So that's gonna be.
That's probably the only game I'll miss.
If they have their same quarterback, Temple. Remember Anthony Russo? Do you remember the Temple game?
I remember Russo. I remember that.
It was like 52-40 the final score.
Yeah, no,
they won
by
12, and one of the scores was in the 50s.
Yeah, I don't know much about Tulsa and Tulane.
The only thing I know about Tulane is Kareem Hunt came from there.
Really?
That's the only thing I know about Tulane.
And then Tulsa, I have no clue.
But they got tossed last year. Tulane was like ECU conversation.
So really the hardest game I personally think would be Stanford, and then the Cincinnati coming in with a reason to win. And then Houston's a bit of an unknown, but other than that...
Yeah, no, we should definitely have a clean slate up until the conference chip and just be home and destroy whoever...
I think if we beat Stanford big, I think we're straight for the rest of the season.
Absolutely.
I think with that confidence, we'll be good for the rest of the season.
Absolutely. Only time will tell.
Only time will tell, that's true. But, I mean, in a week, first game in a week...
Right.
It doesn't feel like we start classes on Monday. We have a game on Thursday.
That's incredible. Mm-hmm. And Florida Georgia Line concert in Tampa on Friday.
Yeah, you know, Smash Mouth is performing at one of the tailgates.
Are you kidding me?
I don't think it's this one, but they're at one of the tailgates.
That is really funny.
Yeah, and sometimes those concerts are always there, and then sometimes hundreds of people sitting out. Right, it's right outside the stadium. You know where it is.
It's like the stage. Like
yeah,
right outside.
Right.
It's so cool.
Right by their little Chick-fil-A float thing that they put out.
And the cows that say eat more chicken. The cows that say eat more chicken
and high five,
at every game. So be sure to take
No,
some
yeah,
pictures
but
with them.
Smash Mouth's going to be there at one of them.
That's incredible.
To get off sports for just one sec, I like that we're getting more music guests too. I don't
Yeah.
want to talk too much about music.
Right. Well, last year, you don't know who Morgan Wallen is because he's a country star.
Yeah, I
but
do not.
He does have a couple of famous songs. He showed up for free.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And now, not that Smash Mouth's very big right now, but everyone knows the name.
Yeah, it's Smash Mouth, they're coming to our
And
game.
then we have you know more about the country side, but in the rap side, we obviously have Tyler coming.
Yeah.
We have Black Bear, who's a little not really rap. We have Logic coming. So it's cool that the growth of our because sports are a big contributor.
Practical Jokers came, but they weren't free.
Yeah, sports really are the catalyst for the growing of the school, and now we get to enjoy the other side of it, like music, and we get sick events and stuff like that all can somewhat be contributed to the sports program. So that's really cool.
Right. Anyway, so moving on here, I looked up a sleeper of the year for offense and defense of UCF. Obviously, we know the big names like Wimbush. Is going to be a starting quarterback,
our rookie
at least
quarterback
for game one. Speaking of, Dylan Gabriel is also going to play the first game, which is crazy. I didn't think I'd be able to see him this year.
Yeah, no, I mean that it's a risk, but if a rookie can come out and perform, I always stay wary in pro and college of rookies starting.
Right.
Just not even because of skill level and mentality, but just of body.
Right, yeah. He's small, too.
He's small.
Like, we went to the spring game. This is off topic of sleepers of the year. We'll come back.
Yeah, no, of course.
At the spring game, I saw every quarterback. Quadri Jones is the fourth string. It was Mac, Wimbush, Gabriel, and Quadri. And Gabriel is just so small. And it's not a bad thing, obviously.
It's harder.
It's tough. He's not developed, like, height-wise, build-wise. And the linemen are tall,
that's why... Because if you think about it, he's 17 or 18 years old.
Right, he's an 18-year-old kid.
Exactly.
He's younger than us.
And it's a kid, yeah. And when it gets into pro, too, college going into pro, it's scary for rookies just because of how big of a jump there is from college to pro, let alone high school to college. Yeah.
But even then,
it's which is kids.
Kids to boys.
To boys.
Kids
to boys to men. So it's scary, but you would never want him to get hurt out there. But hopefully he goes down.
No, but I am excited. It's Florida A&M. Like, I didn't even know they had a football team. They probably don't. They probably are just, like, grabbing kids.
You think it's like their teacher, the professors? Like a bunch of mailmen and stuff, whoever on campus, the 63 South chefs coming in to play on the team. We'll give them some.
Yeah, no, totally. But good for Dylan Gabriel.
No, definitely. Well, if you want to, with that, get into your sleepers, for offense at least, we can start with there.
Okay, so sleeper of the offense. So I'm going to give a little backstory to my prediction. So we have two amazing running backs, Greg McCrae and Adrian Killens. They're short. They're so fast. Greg McCrae was a freshman last year. He came out of nowhere.
Yeah, McCrae, I would say probably even started to get bigger than Killens.
Yeah, he's incredible. They're both incredible. But there is one running back on the team that also plays a little wide receiver. Nobody talks about.
Yep.
He was a 4-star recruit. He was really, really good. And they're going to use him a lot more. His name is Otis Anderson.
Otis Anderson, yep.
He catches touchdowns. He runs for touchdowns. He gets those punt kick returns, and he gets decent yardage on all of them. Otis Anderson, no one talks about, is an incredible skill, an incredible asset.
No, yeah, I remember seeing him last year a little bit when he would come in, and definitely.
Yeah, the problem is he's known for that fumble. You know what fumble I'm talking about? In Memphis, he dropped that.
Yep.
Memphis, we had this historic comeback, which it's funny to laugh about now because we did win. But
we were mad.
We were down by like 28 or something.
Yeah, it was like I think it was 21-0 in the.
It was like
or 28-7.
It was like 28-7 in the first half.
Yeah.
So we made this historic comeback. We brought it to within 10. We had this crazy stop, and we had this punt, and Otis dropped the punt, and then Memphis recovered, and then kicked the field goal. We were like, all the momentum just died.
Definitely.
But we eventually.
That's something UCF is very good at as a sports is breaking momentum.
Right.
If you ever notice, we're down. We don't get down often, but when we do get down, we're very good at cutting the momentum. Right. We're not great at using it either. We're very good at just ignoring momentum as a whole.
It's such a good thing. And that's like I give a lot of credit to Milton.
Definitely, I was about to say the same thing.
That is the epitome of Milton's personality. He just
calm.
Exactly. He's calm. He's relaxed. He doesn't take anything too seriously. He puts blame on himself.
Team
which
player
isn't always a great thing, but in this situation,
but it works for Milton.
Right.
It works for him.
Right, and I'm very happy that he's like the leader of that whole team.
Definitely.
So definitely, Otis Anderson, watch out for him. He's going to have a breakout season.
Yeah.
I'm honestly happy he didn't transfer. I'm not saying he was
I think it's hard for running backs here now because of the offense we use and the quantity that we have.
Right.
Because we talk about even high school running back prospects coming in. not to deter them from coming, but it would be hard for a good prospect running back wanting to come into UCF and get solid reps for the next 3 years.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm happy Otis didn't transfer.
No,
That's
me too.
how good he is. And I'm not saying there was rumor about it, but he
No,
definitely
me too.
could have. We still have him. We're going to use him this year. The defensive sleeper of the year. I was leaning towards Richie Grant only because he's very good corner.
Yep.
And corners are like the odd.
And I would say
one
corners might have been our weakest spot last
Definitely.
season.
But Richie Grant is actually a top 100 ranked college defender, which is
That's great.
So I wouldn't call that sleeper. Instead, my sleeper pick is going to be Nate Evans, who is a linebacker. He did not start his first 2 years. He was redshirt and then he didn't start. And Savage Pat took his spot. Savage Pat was the man.
Great leader, Savage Pat.
Last year, Nate Evans actually emerged all the way from not starting into being on the all-conference second team.
That's great.
I forget all the numbers, but he led the team in tackles for loss. He's 6'1", but he's 240, and he's quick for his size.
No, yeah, and that's what you need in a linebacker.
Right, and now he's gonna lead the
defense,
the primary defense. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's great.
And he's gonna take Pat's spot. He's gonna be incredible.
Yeah.
Watch out for Nate Evans.
The only real sleeper, and it's not really a sleeper either. Like Steg was talking about big names, but I think Trey Nixon's due for a big season.
Yep.
Even when Gabe is a great wide receiver. He plays a slightly different role than Trey Nixon, I think.
Definitely.
Gabe's more of that straight up physical wide receiver.
like a DeAndre Hopkins.
Like DeAndre.
He's a big dude.
And Trey's more versatile. And I think Trey, especially with having young new quarterbacks, Trey now being the second wide receiver, Gabe going to be drawing more coverage. I think Trey's in for a big season, coming in, getting more receptions, getting more looks at, definitely.
Right, and we have Otis, don't forget, and we also have Gabriel Davis' brother actually just transferred. He's a freshman now.
Wow.
So
wide receiver also?
Yes, I don't know if he's going to play this year.
I can see him getting a couple reps late.
But he's also a big dude. He similar play style.
Similar to that physical, which is great.
Yeah, definitely. That's awesome.
And having that physical wide receiver too. I was just talking about Trey, but with Gabe, for young quarterbacks, especially smaller quarterbacks, like when we have rookies coming in, or even Wimbush because he's new to the program, having a big wide receiver who's reliable is a quarterback's best friend when it comes to when in doubt. You can definitely look his way, and he'll one-on-one. He's a very sure bet to grab that.
Yeah, love it. How do you think Wimbush is going to do anyway?
So it's hard to say because
Definitely.
I think it's very hard for a quarterback now at UCF to come in and gain the favor of coaches and fans because of how much we all loved Milton.
Right. And Mac now.
And Mac. And everyone liked Mac. Mac was a little shaky at times,
right,
I gotta be honest. I didn't have...
Remember he kept fumbling?
He fumbled like 4 times in that Memphis game, and I was really scared for Mac.
But he grew. And
but he did what he had to do.
And now we got to start all over.
Yeah. So with Wimbush, I think it'll be hard for him to gain that from the fans and the coaches. He's an athlete, obviously, but if he can do it, then I think he's probably our best bet.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he has the highest ceiling including Daryl Mack. I think he has the highest ceiling to break out.
Definitely.
I think the script is there, kind of written. Milton wrote us a script, and it was that to make an impact in the college world. And he goes down, and now it's in Wimbush's hands.
Yeah, it's sad for Milton, but this is now Wimbush. Wimbush came as a transfer. This should have been Mack's time to shine, and it's unfortunate that he was hurt. And we would never wish injury on a player, especially not our own. But now it's Wimbush's time. When you transfer, it wasn't working out where you were.
Right.
This is your time. You don't have a lot of chances when it comes to college sports, especially.
Absolutely.
And this is his, and I think he knows that, and hopefully he'll take advantage of it and keep playing.
Yep. If you don't know Brandon Wimbush's backstory, he was a starter at Notre Dame for the first 4 games and did not play well or up to expectation.
Yeah.
He was replaced by Ian Book, who eventually took Notre Dame to an undefeated season and a first-round game against Clemson in the championship.
And Clemson, we know.
Slapped.
Well, Clemson was a great team.
Clemson, Trevor Lawrence, definitely going to win the MVP or whatever that award is called.
Yeah. No, we know. The Heisman.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the Heisman.
Yeah.
So Wimbush has a lot to prove, So, Notre Dame's not really a real football program.
No, definitely not.
But anyway, moving on.
Yep, if you want to, I'll transition here a little bit. We're going to talk about basketball a little bit, and, obviously Tacko Fall our biggest player in every sense.
Literally, like he's amongst the top 40 tallest people in the world.
Yeah,
So.
Largest and most talked about player.
Right.
I know people, when I tell people, friends or something back home, or people I go to UCF, the first thing they always ask me about is Tacko. I remember talking to this kid a couple weeks ago that I haven't spoken to since maybe 9th or 10th grade. And he asked me where I go. I say UCF, and he goes, Tacko Fall. It's the first thing people...
Tacko Fall.
Yeah.
Not even a question, just stating.
It's the first thing people realize. And what I'm going to talk about here, and we were talking about it yesterday, but I don't want to get too into it, so we can talk about it here. But Tacko Fall has more bets to win Rookie of the Year than Zion Williamson.
I can't even believe that. I did also read that.
So it could be because of the odds.
Right.
Because Zion obviously has better odds to win than Tacko. But Tacko has the most bets, according to this Vegas site, to win Rookie of the Year.
Unbelievable, yeah. And I did read Cam Reddish is also ahead of Zion.
Cam Reddish was voted number 1 to be most successful, have the most successful career.
Yeah, but Tacko Fall, also funny story. My brother and I were talking about just lineups in general, like East, like who's going to win the East kind of thing.
Sure.
We were talking about lineups, and we approached the Celtics, and I was like, I said the lineups, Kemba, Walker, whatever, Tatum, and then I said Cantor. He's like, Cantor's not starting. I'm like, what do you mean Cantor's not starting? Who else do they have? He's like, they have Tacko Fall.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know about you guys, like away from like Orlando area. I don't know if you guys know what type of player Tacko really is.
Definitely. So when Tacko was signed by the Celtics, I'm not going to say I was a hater, but I was definitely a doubter of Tacko Fall.
You are a Celtics fan.
I am a Celtics fan. Let me put that out, too. I'm a Boston Celtics fan. I have been for many years. They're my team. I'm with them right now. I've always been with them. Haven't seen them through a winning season since I've been a fan, at least, which is about 5th grade, so 2010. But I was a big doubter of Tacko just because of his lack of being able to use his body and his physicality. His hands weren't good. His footwork was too slow. It's hard for a big guy, but I get it. But I think in the summer league, he genuinely surprised me.
And if you look back at March Madness and the game before March Madness, totally different
Tacko.
He learned how to use his feet and post moves.
Became a defensive, not just because of his height, but actually became aggressive on defense too.
Right.
Because he has the capability.
Right.
And that's the thing with tall players.
He just had to be taught. Right.
And when he made the roster, I had a feeling he was going to make the roster. And it's funny, a little thing with Celtics too. I don't want to talk about them too long, but all Celtics fans were crying about having rookies. And then after Summer League, we wanted every rookie signed, including Tacko. we wanted Langford signed. We wanted Grant Williams signed. We wanted Purdue. We wanted him signed, and we wanted Tacko signed. But I think to call Tacko a starter is bold.
That is, like, do people really think that's like Tacko's?
So the problem being a Celtics fan is that we can't rebound. And since I've been watching, we haven't had a center who can rebound. We just had Al Horford.
Last year was Al Horford, now he's on the
great offensive player, but definitely a power forward. Playing center, he's like 6'10", 6'11". We have Aaron Baines, who isn't that great. He does his job. He's big. And Enes Kanter, also not a very good defensive center.
Good rebounder.
Better offense than anything.
Definitely.
And now Tacko, who also is an offensive-leaning center. It just happens to be he's giant.
Right.
I can see him maybe starting a couple games against teams that we need it for. Teams with people
smaller teams?
Probably bigger, to be honest.
Bigger?
Smaller teams, I could see Kanter because we can use the offensive side of it.
Good point.
Bigger teams like the Lakers.
Yeah.
I would hate to see LeBron dunk on Tacko, but it's going to happen. I could see him being used a little bit more in teams like that. Teams like even the Pistons when you have Drummond, who's not great anymore.
And there's Blake Griffin there too.
Blake's there too. So just those teams with bigger guys. I can see Tacko coming in a little bit.
That's good though. I'm really happy that he paves himself like a nice road to success.
Definitely. No, he became also, if you were watching those summer leagues, people were chanting for Tacko to come on the court.
He has an enormous fan base. It's
across
incredible.
Any sport. I don't think an undrafted free agent has that much publicity and popularity.
Definitely. I mean, that just goes to show how he's a good representation of this campus.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he even said in an interview, so many people come up to him and are like, oh my God, like, you're so tall. And he said, well, if I saw someone that's 10 feet tall, I'd want to go up to him and I'd want to talk. So he tries to be as respectful as possible.
And that's great.
That's literally a representation.
And I bet it gets old.
No, definitely. He's probably so sick of these kids running around. Like, kids that are half his size.
Run through his legs.
So they could just step over them and be like, all right.
Yeah, no. But like I said, at least coming out of college, I've never seen a rookie, undrafted, have that much. I don't know anyone who doesn't like Tacko Fall.
Right.
Even people who don't like UCF, there is I can't think of a reason you would not like Tacko Fall.
It's also a great story with his mom.
With
his mom hasn't seen him play like a basketball.
Yeah, and then we got to watch
ever. Yeah, and then,
that game with her.
We saw his mom when he came. Was that the Cincy game?
That was the senior game. Yeah. Yes.
That was the game we stormed the court. Oh my god, that night I can't even. But there's going to be many more nights like that.
Definitely.
I promise.
Basketball will fall off a little bit because we lost him. We lost BJ.
Right.
We lost
Chad was just the heart and soul.
Chad's a big heart.
Big dude.
And we lost. I'm forgetting his name.
Deon. I forget.
Deon Griffin.
Griffin. That's what it was.
But we still have some good players from last year. We have Colin. We have Colin
and we have
Terrell Allen. That's what I was thinking.
Everybody else.
And everyone else except Chance.
Guys. We do have Chance.
No, he left.
Oh, we have Frank Burtz too.
Frank Burtz, yes.
Don't forget him.
Chance left to Stetson, right?
Yeah, and we have Famouk. Don't forget about Famouk.
You guys are hearing it first here. Famouk is going to be the best player on our team this season.
So Famouk transferred from South Carolina?
Yes, I believe so. South Carolina.
And then he transferred. He was out all year. I don't know.
Hurt, but seemed like he was okay towards the later half.
It looked like he was just hanging out with everyone, honestly.
He dyed his beard blonde, and I think he's ready to ball, if I'm being honest.
He was in Zach's American history class.
He was in my American history. I helped him out on the discussion post.
That started the Famouk fan club with him and I and all of our friends.
Yeah, no, we were wearing I Love Famouk t-shirts, and he got to see it. We met him at a Steak and Shake on University.
Oh, yeah, we dapped him up.
We dapped him at Steak and Shake.
Is that Famouk? I was like, no.
And it was Famouk.
I'm like, it's not.
But he, on his Instagram, and I know this isn't a game. Like, I know watching someone's Instagram doesn't necessarily equivalent to them being in the pro.
Player you are.
But he was throwing down like 180 windmills and between the legs under the baseline and stuff. So
we know his capability.
We do. And like I'm saying, he dyed his beard blonde. I think he wants the ball.
That only means business from here on out.
I think he wants to.
Is Famouk your sleeper of the year for basketball?
Sleeper.
It's
he's number one.
Sleeper.
You're calling Famouk you're on this podcast talking to me and calling Famouk a sleeper?
What am I saying?
Famouk is like Zion. He is projected the best, and he's going to be the best. Okay, nobody's better than Famouk on any court, on any sport.
Good point, but you definitely hear it first. Famouk, all-star, best player.
I think Caesar. One more person I want to talk about, Caesar DeJesus. I think last year he started off really well, kind of fell off a little bit, but I think he's going to take that adult road,
right.
And really help out. Probably not start. Maybe though.
Don't we have that new guy with the last name Bowl? But he's not related to
yes.
Bol, but he's like 7'3". Is he related to Bol?
I don't know.
I don't know his first name. I'm actually gonna look it up.
But yeah, is Caesar gonna start?
Yes, he's a good player.
2?
It's tough.
Terrell at the 1?
It's so tough because I'm not familiar with the roster now. We have such a different roster.
Sure.
That's how college basketball
I can
works.
see Caesar starting, and then Famouk and Burtz, and then Colin.
Yeah, I can see. Well, I can see Frank being the sixth man because he just comes on the bench and just hits 3 after 3.
I think Caesar's going to be important to this season, though. Obviously, Colin and Terrell are going to be their starters that are
definitely
carrying over.
And UCF basketball did just play some sort of tournament in Spain, and they did win their last game. I believe they went 2-1. Colin Smith led the scoring every game.
That's great. No,
finally, Colin Smith is a 6'11" power forward.
Kevin Durant type build.
Right, and Kevin Durant's number, 35.
And his number. That's maybe why I'm influenced to say that.
Every game we went to last year, we were kind of expecting more, and he never delivered. We're like, it's an off game, and it ended up, maybe it was just an off season.
Yeah. Maybe he's not a Kevin Durant, more as like a Blake Griffin type build. He's a little bit too skinny for that, but he has good handles for his size.
Right.
Not as good as KD. He's good handles for his size. He has a good mid-range shot. He's got to work on the driving. He's got to work on the physicality.
Definitely.
And he also, I would say, his biggest flaw would be his basketball IQ.
Right.
I think he sometimes
turns
puts his
the ball over a lot.
Yeah,
I remember that.
I think he sometimes puts his head down.
We called him a pizza head.
Yeah, he's a pizza head. Follow him on Instagram, pizza head something.
His
numbers.
Instagram handle, pizzahead2_, and I don't understand it, but he does wear those Vans with pizzas on them.
Which I think I think pizza head is not a good Instagram handle name, but I think if you have it and you wear the Vans, I think that's points in my book.
So Pizza Head, if you're listening, every 20-point game you have, I'm sending a box of pizza. Any place of your choice, right to your dorm. I promise.
Well, you can come. We'll go. What's your favorite pizza place, Colin? Let us know. We'll take you there if you score 20 points. You like Blaze? Probably Lazy Moon. Lazy Moon's good.
Great.
If you're weird and you like something else, let us know. We'll take you there. No price is too much for us, Colin.
Right. But anyway, what, you want to start wrapping it up here?
Yeah, I think I want to start wrapping up.
All right, but before we go, we want to say, like once the seasons progress and we start to learn more about men's soccer and golf and all that, we're going to talk a little more. This is just the very
this is the very intro.
This is basically rolling out the red carpet.
Definitely, we're working stuff out here, and we plan on getting video and stuff like that. But
big plans here in this podcast.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, see us at Market Day around September 4th, maybe.
Probably not the first Market Day. Probably the second, if not the third, but definitely come see us.
Right, if you catch us and you subscribe in front of us, we'll put you down. We'll put you on a list, and you have a chance to join us.
Yeah, and if you guys have anything you'd like us to talk about that maybe we missed out on, or any sports that you're either a part of or interested in that you would like us to just mention, even, we're always up to that. Like Steg mentioned, this is a slow week. No teams have played yet.
Right.
Real games, but when it gets into it, we're going to try to recap all of them.
Absolutely. So, just be sure to leave us a rating, subscribe.
Definitely. And if you want to follow us on Instagram, it's going to be Nights in the AM also.
Awesome.
And that'd be great for us, And like I said, if you have any ideas you want us to do, we're just very appreciative of getting to do this and then getting to give you guys something too.
And there's going to be, trust me, in the future, there's going to be a lot more arguments between us. We argue
definitely. We toned it down all the time. We toned it down today, a little bit.
We're treading
We were agreeing today, but nothing too controversial today.
Right. There's going to be a lot of competition. We're going to have some bits. We're gonna have a lot of fun on the show. Today was just kind of
definitely.
But
it was a lot of fun. Absolutely. And I appreciate doing it with you, Steg.
I'm very excited for this upcoming series. So,
well, I think that's it, and I'll end it here with a little Go Knights
and charge on.
Thank you guys so much.